Hi, so in today's video I'm going to show you how you can cut a Pi Pico safely. So I'm currently doing a little project and the Pi Pico is a little bit too long for where I want to fit it. So after doing a lot of research, I've found that there is certain ways that you can trim it safely so it will still be able to work. Doing this method will obviously mean you cannot access some of the pads further down easily, but if you wanted to, you could scratch off the traces that lead to them and wire directly to the trace. So everything below this chip is where we can cut off. So I found this picture when I was doing a little bit of research. Someone had taken an x-ray, and as you can see for this Pi Pico, anything below this chip is just trace work. And then in this picture, I'm just showing you where the ideal place is to cut. You can even cut along the sides. So if you wanted to, the solder pads on the sides, you could cut them in half to give you a little bit more play on either side. So you'd still have a little bit you'd be able to solder to if you don't need the full width. And then obviously the other line shows at the bottom, just below the chip, that we can cut. So this is the multi-tool that I use. So I'll leave the link in the description. I'm a big fan of it so far. I've used it on several projects. And then it comes with a cutting disc. So I'll just turn it on. I'll just turn up to speed 4. And then just very carefully line it up. Put it on something so you don't cut straight through onto your table. And then just cut away. Just take your time, you don't want to slide off and cut your fingers. Also, it's worth recommending that this is done in a ventilated area and preferably wearing a mask. You really don't want to be breathing in the dust that comes off these PCBs because it's probably not going to be good for you. So very carefully cut along, it doesn't take much. It's literally a mil thick and then we're done. Just double check the end and make sure that nothing is frayed across. You don't want any of the top layer touching the bottom layer because this could cause some potential shorts. So if you need to, just give it a little clean up, use some isopropyl, just make sure nothing's touching. Also be careful that it could be sharp, you don't want to be cutting your fingers on this bit either. So as you can see, this one's being cut. So we've got a lot of difference in size now. So we've cut off a good depth from the bottom. And finally, this is the project that I used it for. So I was building a DIY PlayStation 1 memory card, which I needed a Pi Pico, and it was just slightly too long to fit in. So I cut the bottom off and I could fit it in with an SD card and the connections at the bottom. And now it looks and works perfect, just like a real PlayStation 1 card. Hopefully you found the video interesting. Hopefully you found it informative. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.